What is up, my VR homies? This is Anthony with the VR Game Rankings YouTube show, and of course, this is the daily vlog series. It is Tuesday, March 6th. Today's episode is number 112, and we got some news stories to get into. I know I'm pretty late with the upload today. Apologies for that. Just took a lot of time to get this show up and running. There was a lot of other miscellaneous things going on. Every once in a while you can get delayed like that. So anyways, just wanted to let you know. But we've got quite a few news stories to hop into. So why don't we go ahead and just get the ball rolling? Story number one is that there is going to be a new budget cuts demo at the Game Developers Conference. Okay, so this goes to a tweet by Joaquin Homer. I might be mispronouncing his last name there, the co-founder of Neat Corp. He tweeted this out yesterday that they're going to be demoing new budget cuts content at GDC, and that Joaquin himself, he's also going to be giving a talk on the Portal locomotion. As far as like a release date and stuff, we don't really have any information on that. Hopefully, when they're showing this off at GDC and when Joaquin is giving his talk about the Portal locomotion, hopefully they might let it slip as to when this game is actually coming out, because I think the last story that we had in regards to budget cuts was that it was nearing completion. I believe there was a tweet by Ken Levine from BioShock fame wondering, you know, when is budget cuts going to come out? I'm really interested in budget cuts. And they replied to his tweet saying that, you know, it's coming soon, like we're almost wrapping up on it. Of course, since then, we haven't heard anything. Now we hear they're going to be at GDC with a new area of the game, a playable version of the game. I don't know if this is going to be a demo that like anybody can walk up and demo or queue into a line and demo, or if this is going to be kind of a private thing where you have to have some type of an appointment to check out this demo. But at least there will be some new playable game options there. Hopefully we'll get some footage from that, some screenshots from that, so we can kind of get an idea of what has been going on with Neat Corp in all this time. I mean, it has been a crazy long time. We are really getting close to April of 2018, which is 2 full years since we got that budget cuts demo. So it's like, what have you been up to lately? You know, in these last 2 years, we're talking 365 days times 2. What have these guys been up to? Obviously, they've been up to something. They've been cooking something up, and we are excited to check it out. So hopefully we'll get some footage at GDC, hopefully some more information. Story number 2. Bravo team for PlayStation VR appears to be a really bad game. Yeah, this is some unfortunate news for Supermassive Games. Obviously, remember we got the Inpatient in late January. That one wasn't received so well. At first, when I first got it, I thought it was really, really bad. Then I played a little bit more into it, ended up finishing it. It's not a bad game. It's not a horrible game, but it was a bit on the disappointing side. Overall, I would still consider it quite a bit of a disappointment, especially at that $40 price. And then Bravo Team was coming out. Well, it came out today, and I have to admit, I don't have Bravo Team. I haven't played Bravo Team. This is one where I kind of decided to pass on it. I don't get codes from Sony. I'm not big enough to get a code from Sony. I've tried to reach out to Sony to get game codes, and I guess I'm just too small of a website, too small of a YouTube channel, so no love there. So I have not actually tried Bravo Team myself, but what I decided that I would do is I would quickly bounce over to Reddit, the PSVR subreddit, and give you a little bit of some of this vitriol that is going on the PSVR subreddit in regards to Bravo Team. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of these titles that we have for these threads that are on the PSVR subreddit. So here, you know, the second highest thread is 7 reasons why you shouldn't buy Bravo Team. That's by Eurogamer. Then you got, I said it before and I'll say it again, Supermassive Games are working on too many games at the same time. That's another thread that's on there. Then we got Bravo Team reviewed by Polish Paul. He didn't like it. Bravo Team review. It's poorly made and is hands down the worst game I've ever played. Oh my God, that is really harsh. And then Eurogamer Bravo Team review, an astonishingly bad VR shooter from a team that should know better. What is going on over there at Supermassive Games? I mean, this is a company that I praise to the high heavens because my experience with Supermassive Games initially was absolutely wonderful. Rush of Blood, I loved Rush of Blood. Tumble VR, I loved Tumble VR. I thought these guys could do no wrong. The Inpatient, I was excited for it. Obviously, it's got some issues, but it wasn't complete and utter crap. But it really sounds like Bravo Team. Man, the vitriol for Bravo Team is just not good. Just a lot of bad reviews about Bravo Team. A lot of people are just saying that it's horrible. So, man, that is kind of crazy. But that is what's going on out there for Bravo Team. Okay, story number 3 is Chapter 4 of the Exorcist Legion VR is coming this April. There is a new Steam page that is up for Chapter 4 of the Exorcist. It is called Samaritan, and we do have a description from the Steam page. I'll go ahead and read this description. Haiti has become a failed quarantine zone, racked by an unknown plague. A slew of health worker deaths have led to the collapse of efforts to control the mounting victim toll. You travel to a small aid center to discover what lies at the heart of the epidemic. Now, we don't have a trailer for this, as I couldn't find a trailer for this anywhere, but we do have a number of pictures. It does look pretty cool. You know what it kind of gives me a vibe of? Has anybody seen that movie? There was this it was like a Spanish movie or like a Mexican movie. It was called REC, like Record. REC was the name of the movie, and it was kind of this zombie movie, and it all kind of took place inside this like apartment complex. And I don't know, it just had a cool kind of vibe to it. Record, I guess is what it's called, but I'm talking about the original Spanish version where it's like in subtitles or whatever. The pictures of this one, which is taking place in Haiti with, you know, health workers and all this type of thing and this unknown plague, kind of reminds me of that a little bit. It does look pretty cool. I have to admit, when it comes to the Exorcist Legion VR, I've only tried that very first chapter because my good buddy Mame Fan, he said the second chapter was kind of a dud. Never got around to, I know the third chapter has become available, haven't tried that. And then now this is the 4th chapter that is coming in April. So I'm curious about you guys out there. Have you tried these different Exorcist chapters? Do you think this is a good idea to release it in this piecemeal style where it's like $5 a chapter? I think the prices aren't that bad. You know, you're talking 25-ish minutes of gameplay for $5. Kind of like a demo that you're paying for $5 is a glorified demo, really. But if you're into the content, you know, Wolf and Wood Interactive, these are the guys behind A Chair in a Room, one of the most highly rated VR horror games that we have out there. And I did enjoy the first chapter. I wasn't like completely blown away by it. I did enjoy it. But, you know, this is Chapter 4. It is coming in April, so we have to look forward to this one as well. And you know what? Somebody mentioned in the on yesterday's episode 111, in the comments, somebody mentioned so much for early 2018 being this slow time with not a lot of releases. Yeah, we are being absolutely hammered. There are so many games that are coming out in this first half. I was completely and utterly off the mark when I was talking about how early 2018 is going to be kind of slow and there's not going to be a lot going on. Now, we don't really have like big, heavy hitting games, but man, do we have a ton of games, and a lot of them have turned out to be quite good. A lot of these smaller games are actually pretty good, so that is good news. Okay, story number 4. Now, this is very much your mileage may vary type of story, and it might be kind of dead as far as we're concerned here, but I wanted to report on this anyways, just in the off chance that somebody could still possibly take advantage of this. So Costco apparently had the Lenovo Explorer mixed reality headset. This is the Microsoft mixed reality headset. They had it for $200. I'm guessing $199.99. Now, they had this online at Costco online. Unfortunately, it is completely sold out. If you go ahead and click on the link, it says that, sorry, all out of stock. Now, what I don't know is, can you go to a physical Costco location and can you possibly grab this headset at one of the physical Costco locations for $200? So I don't know. See, the thing about Costco is they don't sell every product that they sell online. They don't also sell in the stores. Sometimes there's certain products that are only sold online and they don't carry it in the store whatsoever. I'm not sure about this Lenovo Explorer, but maybe if you've got a Costco that is just down the street from you and you're actually looking for one of these mixed reality headsets at a really good deal, maybe drive down there and check it out. You could try calling them, but it sometimes takes forever and a day to get a Costco employee to actually come on the phone and check something out for you. That's part of the reason that you get such great deals at Costco, is you got to kind of find things yourself, and there's not a lot of help as far as that goes. But anyway, just kind of wanted to do a public service announcement on that. Maybe somebody could take advantage of that. $200. I mean, that is a screaming deal for a mixed reality headset. Despite the possible tracking issues and all of that, it's still a great deal. Okay, story number 5, Golem for the PlayStation VR. This game was supposed to be coming on March 13th. I actually kind of forgot that this game was coming March 13th, but guess what? Bad news. It is not coming on March 13th. This game's already been delayed a couple of times. In fact, it was delayed for so long that we started to wonder if this game got canceled, and then finally we got some information that it was going to come on March 13th, but now we have new information that it is not coming. So this is on the Highwire Games website. They have an announcement for all their fans. Here is what they had to say. We have some good news and we have some bad news. The bad news is we're going to delay Golem a bit longer. There's no single reason for the delay, just a few small things that taken together make it the right thing for the game and for Highwire Games. We want to release a polished VR experience that we're proud of. There's still some tuning and optimization to be done, and we're too old for another insane death crunch. The good news is we're going to delay Golem a bit longer. The game is still coming out soon, and we don't expect the delay to be very long. In the meantime, go listen to Marty's fantastic prequel album, Echoes of the First Dreamer, or play through Moss again. We'll let you know when we have a new date. That's from Jamie, Jared, and Marty from Highwire Games. So yeah, so the game's delayed. They don't really have a major reason for it. They don't want to go through an insane death crunch. I kind of understand that. And then this is a PSVR game, and so part of the issue is that even when Highwire Games is completely done with this game, they're still going to have to send it to Sony. It's still going to have to go through a certification process, so it's still going to take a little while. So honestly, if I were looking for Golem and I was a betting man, I probably wouldn't bank on this game until maybe June, like early summer at the earliest. And who knows, this game could even slip into the fall based on that, because obviously Highwire Games are going to have to button it up, finish it up, hand it over to Sony. It's going to have to go through the certification process, and then it hits the rest of us. So looks like Golem will be delayed for a little while. Okay, the last little story I want to get to, this is kind of a throwaway story. I happened to see this on the Vive subreddit, and I thought, this is kind of an interesting story. Might as well go ahead and do this real quick. So Hyperkin has a special cable management package that is available for HTC Vive users. And so basically what this is for $23, I saw it on Amazon.com, for $23, you can get a set of 6 retractable cable management thingies, for the lack of a better term. I don't know technically what they're called. Basically like little pulley systems to help suspend your Vive wire from the ceiling so you can get the cable kind of out of your way. And so this is something I've always thought about. I've thought about doing this a number of times. I remember way back way back in the days, like early in 2016, when I first got my Vive, I remember seeing different videos where people tried all these different techniques of suspending their wires from the ceiling. I remember this one guy, he was a big time hollow point player, and he had his cable wired up in a certain way where it was suspending, and he was able to play hollow point, and he was swinging all around and doing all the thing, you know, swinging around 360, and it was like swinging around with him. And it was a cool idea, a cool concept. And I thought, you know, this is a great way to do it. It's almost like having wireless without having wireless. Now, the problem you get into when you do a cable suspension situation like this is that there's a lot of games where it might work out absolutely perfectly, but then there's other games where it's just not very compatible. So if you have a VR game where you happen to be reaching up with your arms, the worry there is that you're actually going to get your arm caught in the suspension wire. So you kind of have to stick to VR games where you're not reaching up high into the sky for any kind of reason, because that's the one danger that you can get into with having your cable suspended. But I was kind of curious, has anybody tried doing this? And I did some searches on this Hyperkin thing, and I've seen people with the Oculus Rift that are doing this. So it's not just the HTC Vive. Now, one of the reasons I think they kind of specify this more towards the HTC Vive is that one of the big differences between the Vive and the Rift is the Vive gives you a lot longer of a cable than the Rift, the actual cable that is going from your PC. See, that's kind of the issue that you get into if you decide to start suspending your wire up there, is you're probably going to need some type of extension cord that is going to extend your regular wires a lot further, because now you're putting it up on your ceiling and you're going to need some slack. You're going to have some slack. So you're likely going to have to extend the entire wire thing, you know, to make it all happen. So I was just curious about you guys out there. Do you guys suspend your wires at all? Do you try this to kind of like avoid getting a wireless adapter or maybe help you out a little bit? Or do you just leave the cable on the floor the normal way and you just step around it and it's just instinctive? You just instinctively avoid your cable. Do you do it that way? Kind of curious to your guys' take on that, but just wanted to mention this Hyperkin thing. It is kind of cool that they actually are making a specific accessory for such a niche market. Yeah, that goes to somebody in the comments that said, please pronounce niche the right way. So I guess niche is like that. So there you go for that one. But basically, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. This has been episode 112 of the Daily Vlog series for Tuesday, March 6th. Everybody have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see everybody tomorrow on Wednesday. Take it easy. Later.